environment which is not clean or pure, to what extent can we be able to avoid such uncontrollable external stimuli? Thank you.
I respond to that in a minute. I better hurry up because you're not going to beyond what I was going to talk about. Yes, one over here. So I will respond to you. Very important.
Sir, does this model require us to be compromising and submissive to situations?
Not at all. Never do anything which goes against your honor, your character, which goes against your beliefs, your principles, and your values. You never compromise. The day you compromise that, you will stop respecting yourself. Yes? Hey, hurry up, because I've got to have a Q&A with you guys. You're interested.
From what you have just discussed, what I have inferred is that success does not generally mean happiness. It does not refer to happiness. Because if you are controlling yourself that I have to get up at 6 a.m. in the morning, or if I don't have to punch that guy back, basically you are not happy. Because
right?
Because if you are trying to control yourself and discipline yourself, you are not getting happy in doing it. I feel like
you're not punch a guy in the whole whatever.
Yeah.
Alright? Let's see you done it. Let's say I insulted you, I'm your friend, but you think I'm no longer your friend, come on, you pick me.
Yeah.
What have you done? What is the outcome?
Basically, I'm happy inside.
I show you at that moment.
At that moment, yes.
You see?
Not only that, but
You yourself that you might get a moment of transitory happiness because you got back to that individual,
yeah.
but the damage you're going to create is going to be incredible. Because let's say you do that with a friend of yours, and I'm standing by watching you. You think I'm never going to trust you? Never going to trust you. I'm always going to be careful. What's this guy? What's the point? Tomorrow you may be needing my support. So the damage is enormous. And when you weigh that in your mind, and I'm assuming that you're a thinking individual, you're not a schooled person, you're an educated person. You're going to sense that just a minute. Am I going to think of it now for the happiness in this very moment, or am I going to start looking longer term? What's in my best interest? My best, your best interest. Then make that. And if you still think you should punch him in the nose, go ahead.
I just said this because in the starting.
But I assure you,
yeah.
you will not be successful. Anybody else? Yes.
Hi, wouldn't it be hypocrisy if you wanted to punch somebody and you didn't punch it just because of what it would look like to other people?
No, you're not doing it for that reason. I hope not. I hope you're doing it for your character. That you believe that you have self-discipline, that you have the capacity to grow your character. Hitting somebody in the face, let's say, forget about all the fallout. What about the fallout inside? You can't do something wrong and get a momentary, feeling of happiness and not realize it's going to hurt you in the long term. Hey, Jude board down there. I got away with it. I feel great. Made an idiot out of that. What funny is it to me? I have to look at myself and say, yeah, what did he do? Was it necessary? That so-called idiot is going to know that you told a lie. When he knows you tell a lie, he's never going to trust you. And you know what? He's probably going to pass it along to a lot of other people. That is for sure, it's sure to be unsuccessful. Anybody else?
Yeah, I just want to make a clarification. I think there's a difference between happiness and pleasure. There are a lot of things that give us pleasure which will make us unhappy, and the world is full of we've got drugs and we've got other activities that are not mentioned here. But we need to make a fundamental difference or demarcate the difference between happiness and pleasure. Punching someone may give you pleasure, but it will not give you happiness.
Very important point. Thank you so much. Very good. Yes, sir.
I want to share my way of
whenever that situation happens. I ask a simple question for myself, that whether I am going to corrupt my soul and compromise on my character because of the environment, because of the other person, or whatever is in me.
You see, things are full out of style. But the important thing is this, is that I'm not going to go up and say to someone, hey, you know, I love you, you're a fantastic guy, this guy did it because I was going to share Pakistan or aviation fund. I'm humiliating myself. I make a mind, I know that for anything. Made an observation. This environment, you've got all these corrupt practices going on. What then? You have to decide. Are you going to be one of them? Or you're going to stand apart? And if all of us today resolve that we're going to stand apart, we will make a contribution to our country. Isn't that what we're here for? We will make a contribution because we will pass this on to our loved ones, to our friends, to those that we admire, whatever it is. And we can increase the number of people who start to practice this. And I tell you, we can transform society. The biggest problem we've got today is there are no civil society institutions. They've all been decimated. All civil society members are grasping, saying, yeah, how can we respond to these challenges? My answer to that is you start the challenge from within. First you correct yourself before you go out and correct others. I was at the World Economic Forum just now. I'm a member of the Global Agenda Council for Corruption. So we had a session which is called Zero Option for Corruption. We sat there, we had some pretty big guys, and now it's smallest guy there. Big guys there. We had the World Bank, managing director there. We had Clovis de Swart, who was the managing director of Transparency International. We had the Secretary General of Interpol, Ronald Noble. We had somebody from Siemens, interesting, who was a very high position, but he was on. We had somebody from Floor Corporation, the chief operating officer of Floor Corporation. We had a professor who was the head of the OECD Cell on Corruption. He's a professor of law also. So we're all discussing this and making our presentations. Several made their presentation, they came to me. I said, you know, I have a problem. The problem that I have is the fact that in the World Economic Forum, we go around and say what everybody else should be doing. How about what we should do? Don't we ever look inside? Do I see? Am I doing it? Before I start asking somebody else to do it? This example, one he puts the guy in the nose. Do you think that he will change for you tomorrow? He never will. But if you think about it, you can get him to change and improve his behavior. So when I raised this issue and said, let's start with us. You know what happened? I tell you, there are 53 people there. And in that, there are all these hard-boiled senior people. There's pin drop silent, and they were right back to the earlier discussion about how everybody else should do it. Fine. Session was over, got up and left. Guess who came over and shook my hand? All the young people. They're the only ones who understood what I said. You hard-boiled guy didn't understand anything. What I'm trying to say to you, please, understand, it has to start from within. It's the inside that you've got to master first. It's the inside. And the only way you can master that is when you decide that you're going to make a decision and you're going to control what your responses are going to be. Then you can make sure that every decision that you make, no matter how small, will reinforce previous decisions. So then you start to build up. And that is the essence of success. It's how you make decisions, but each succeeding decision reinforces the previous one. And that's what we talk about having a conceptual approach in business. You have a conceptual approach so that you see the different elements of decision making that you require. They should all feed in to reinforce what you're trying to do. Same thing with your life. Okay? Let's continue. The decision making space allows us to respond positively peace within yourself. You have to, that is what you've got to succeed in. And when you have that peace, a sense of harmony, it will be felt by one and all. Don't you come across those unique individuals who have a sense of harmony about them and say, wow, being in his presence makes such a difference. So punching the guy in the nose is not going to do that for you. Resisting it will. Because your character, your personality, your reputation, everything reinforces the other. In conclusion, decisions which enable us to develop a sense of harmony within ourselves, this will, through diligent practice, significantly add to our self-confidence and success. As a bonus, we take it up, we will be able to create an environment of happiness for ourselves and for those around us. I will conclude at this point, but you asked a question, I'll answer. Do you all agree with that question? What did she say? The environment around it, there's so much going on, like all the noise that's outside, all problems that we have in the country. You know, yeah, we go mad trying to be angels inside. Please realize that there are two important elements you have to understand. If you can imagine the world as a circle of concern. Are you concerned about all the drone attacks taking place? Yes. Are you concerned about the political process taking place? Yes. Are you concerned about all the diseases coming out? Yes. Are you concerned about what's going on out there? You can't do anything about the traffic and all the filth and muck that's being thrown around? Yes. They're all things. Can you control them? No. Then why worry about them? They become your circle of concern. Let them stay there. There is another circle which is called a circle of influence, which you control. And what you've got to do is concentrate on the circle of influence, not on the circle of concern. So you worry about what's around you, what you can control, what you can influence. That's important. And this model I give you enables you to do that. And the things that you can't control, like the drone attacks and what's going on, there's nothing you can do about it. Why would it? If you want to go to politics and do that, fine, that's a different decision. How many of us are going to do that? Anybody interested in a political career here? You are? Very good. One? Anybody else? Fine. Then you can go ahead and look after the drone attacks. You'll get on with our lives. So does that answer your question? So identify what's in your circle of influence and concentrate on that. Don't try to change the world. You know, most of us are always worried about, yeah, I want to do something and transform society. I will come along and do this, do that. Just a minute. You don't think there is a creator? You think he doesn't know what's going on? Huh? What makes him a creator? Is that he has perfect knowledge. And because he has perfect knowledge, he knows exactly what's going on. And he says so again and again in the Quran. He knows every single thought that's in your mind. Not talking about action, talking about the mind. He knows every single leaf of what happens. That's what the Quran says. That's what makes him the creator. If he wants to change the situation, what does he say? Good for you. It doesn't change. If he's not changing it, why are we carrying that responsibility? His work, he decides. My little work, I decide. So that's okay to change life and change and get rid of all the slums and everybody becomes a rich person and so on and so